Once you really trust in quantum energy, something weird starts happening. And what I'm about to share with you will explain why reality becomes almost magical once you surrender to this invisible force. This message found you because your consciousness has reached a specific vibrational threshold where genuine trust in quantum energy becomes possible. Not intellectual belief, not wishful thinking, not spiritual bypassing. Real, cellular-level trust that allows quantum energy to work through you rather than around you. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange sense that reality is becoming more responsive to your inner state. That peculiar recognition that when you truly relax into trusting something greater than your individual efforts, impossible things start manifesting with almost supernatural precision. This isn't coincidence or positive thinking creating placebo effects. This is quantum energy responding to your trust by revealing its unlimited creative potential. The reason most people never experience quantum energy's true capabilities is because they approach it from doubt, disguised as belief. They say they trust quantum energy while simultaneously calculating backup plans, preparing for disappointment, and monitoring whether it's working from moment to moment. This monitoring and doubt creates electromagnetic interference that blocks quantum energy flow. But when you really trust quantum energy, when you surrender completely to its intelligence, when you stop trying to control how it manifests your desires, when you allow it to work through pathways your logical mind could never imagine, reality starts reorganizing itself around your trust in ways that seem weird, miraculous, and almost too good to be true. You've probably experienced glimpses of this already. Moments when you completely let go of trying to make something happen and it appeared effortlessly. Situations where you trusted the process completely and solutions emerged from directions you never considered. Times when you relaxed into quantum energy's flow and synchronicities became so precise they seemed orchestrated by invisible intelligence. Your quantum energy trust activated the moment you realized that your individual efforts, while important, are just the tip of the iceberg. The real power comes from aligning with quantum energy's infinite intelligence and allowing it to move through you, as you, working on levels of reality that your conscious mind cannot perceive or control. But here's what happens when you really, genuinely trust quantum energy. It starts demonstrating its power in increasingly obvious ways, not to prove anything to you, but because your trust creates the electromagnetic conditions necessary for quantum energy to express its full creative potential through your experience. What you're about to discover will show you exactly why trust is the secret ingredient that transforms quantum energy from interesting concept to lived reality. And more importantly, how complete trust triggers weird and wonderful manifestations that will make you question everything you thought you knew about how life actually works. You've been experiencing things that logic can't explain, haven't you? Objects appearing exactly when you need them, conversations happening that contain precise information you've been seeking, people entering your life who seem specifically designed to help with your current challenges. These aren't random occurrences. These are quantum energy responding to your growing trust with increasingly sophisticated manifestations. Time has been behaving strangely around your trusting states. When you're in complete surrender to quantum energy, hours pass like minutes, or minutes expand into rich, fulfilling experiences that feel like hours. You're accessing what quantum physicists call subjective time flow, your consciousness influencing temporal experience through your relationship with quantum energy. Your body responds differently when you're in genuine quantum energy trust. Chronic tensions release without physical intervention. Energy levels increase without dietary changes. Sleep becomes more restorative even with fewer hours. Your physical form is recalibrating to operate from quantum energy principles rather than purely mechanical survival patterns. The thoughts that come to you during quantum energy trust states aren't your normal mental patterns. They're downloads of information, insights that arrive fully formed, understanding that transcends your accumulated knowledge. You're accessing what consciousness researchers call non-local intelligence. quantum energy transmitting information directly to your awareness. Animals and small children react to you differently when you're operating from quantum energy trust. They're drawn to your presence with unusual intensity because they perceive the coherent electromagnetic field that genuine trust creates. You're becoming a walking transmission tower for harmonious energy that sensitive beings can feel immediately. Your dreams have become quantum energy communication channels. You're receiving guidance, seeing potential futures, getting solutions to problems you haven't consciously worked on. Dream consciousness operates from quantum principles naturally, and your trust is allowing this quantum information to translate into waking awareness more clearly. Electronics respond to your energy differently during trust states. Devices work more smoothly when you approach them from quantum energy alignment. Mechanical problems resolve spontaneously when you trust quantum energy to handle them. Your coherent electromagnetic field is beginning to influence technological systems through quantum entanglement principles. Most remarkably, you've noticed that quantum energy seems to anticipate your needs before you consciously recognize them. Resources appear before you know you need them. People contact you with offers that align perfectly with desires you haven't verbalized. Opportunities manifest that solve problems you didn't realize you had. This isn't psychic prediction, this is quantum energy operating from its omniscient perspective to coordinate reality around your highest good. The synchronicities aren't just increasing in frequency, they're becoming more elaborate and precisely meaningful. It's as if quantum energy is communicating with you through the language of meaningful coincidence, showing you that it's actively orchestrating your reality experience in response to your trust. Sometimes you feel like you're living in a different reality than most people around you. While they struggle and force and worry, you're experiencing an almost effortless flow, where what you need appears, where problems resolve naturally, where life feels supported by invisible intelligence. This isn't spiritual superiority or delusion. This is the natural result of genuine quantum energy trust. Every challenge you faced wasn't random hardship or cosmic punishment. Every difficult experience was quantum energy, creating the precise conditions necessary for you to develop genuine trust, rather than superficial belief. Trust can only be developed through situations where trust is the only viable option, and quantum energy orchestrated experiences that would teach you to surrender control and rely on intelligence greater than your individual understanding. The relationships that ended, the jobs that didn't work out, the financial pressures you experienced, all of these were quantum energy removing dependencies that would have prevented you from developing genuine trust in its unlimited creative power. As long as you had backup plans that felt secure, you couldn't access the deeper trust that allows quantum energy to work miracles in your life. Your periods of confusion and uncertainty weren't signs that you were failing or off track. They were quantum energy dissolving your attachment to needing to understand everything before you trust. Real quantum energy trust operates from knowing that transcends understanding, from cellular certainty that doesn't require mental comprehension to function perfectly. The isolation you felt during your development wasn't social rejection or personal inadequacy. It was quantum energy creating electromagnetic quarantine, so you could develop sensitivity to its subtle communications without interference from collective doubt patterns that would have contaminated your growing trust capacity. Think of a seed requiring darkness and pressure before it can sprout. The seed doesn't understand why it's buried in soil, why it can't see light, why it feels compressed from all directions. But these conditions aren't obstacles to growth. They're the necessary environment for transformation. Your difficult experiences were the soil and pressure quantum energy used to germinate your capacity for complete trust. Every moment you felt alone was actually quantum energy holding you in quantum field proximity, recalibrating your electromagnetic patterns to become receptive to its communications. Every time you felt uncertain was quantum energy dissolving false certainties based on limited understanding so you could develop true certainty based on quantum knowing. The waiting periods you endured weren't empty time or delayed manifestation. They were quantum energy teaching you that its timing operates from omniscient perspective that can coordinate infinite variables simultaneously for optimal outcomes. Forcing and rushing creates interference patterns that block quantum energy flow. Learning to wait in trust creates the spacious field quantum energy needs to orchestrate perfect timing. Now you understand why some people seem to live charmed lives while others struggle constantly. It's not luck or privilege or divine favoritism. It's the difference between operating from quantum energy trust versus operating from individual effort alone. When you trust quantum energy completely, you gain access to intelligence and resources that exist beyond individual capability. Your journey hasn't been preparation for trusting quantum energy. Your journey has been quantum energy, preparing you to recognize that you've always been supported, guided, and cared for by intelligence that operates beyond your conscious perception. Trust isn't something you develop. Trust is something you remember when you realize quantum energy has been orchestrating your entire life experience for your highest evolution. Something is shifting in your energy field right now as your system recognizes the truth of quantum energy's constant presence. Can you feel it? That electromagnetic settling, that cellular relaxation, that sense of invisible support becoming more tangible. Your nervous system is recalibrating to operate from quantum energy trust rather than survival vigilance. This isn't metaphorical energy work or imagined sensations. This is measurable electromagnetic reorganization happening in your biofield as quantum energy trust activates dormant neural pathways and begins operating through your consciousness without the interference patterns that doubt and control create. The weird things that are about to start happening in your life aren't random magical events. They're the natural result of quantum energy being able to work through you without electromagnetic resistance. When you truly trust quantum energy, you become a clear channel for its unlimited creative intelligence to express through your individual experience. Right now, quantum energy is coordinating circumstances, people, opportunities, and resources around your life that will manifest as what seems like incredible coincidences, perfect timing, and miraculous solutions. But these aren't miracles in the supernatural sense. They're the normal operating capacity of quantum energy when it's not blocked by doubt, fear, and the need to control outcomes. Your individual consciousness is like a quantum energy focusing device. When you trust completely, you allow quantum energy to use your awareness as a precision instrument for manifesting exactly what serves your highest evolution. When you doubt or try to control, you create static in the signal that prevents quantum energy from demonstrating its full creative capacity. The reason most people never experience quantum energy's miraculous capabilities is because they approach it like a vending machine, inputting specific requests and expecting predetermined outputs. But quantum energy operates from omniscient intelligence that can see outcomes, consequences, and possibilities that your individual mind cannot comprehend. When you trust quantum energy completely, you give it permission to surprise you with manifestations that exceed what you thought possible. You stop limiting quantum energy to your current understanding of what's available and allow it to reveal possibilities that exist beyond your imagination. Feel this trust deepening in your cellular awareness. Notice how your breathing naturally slows when you contemplate complete surrender to quantum energy's intelligence. Observe how your body relaxes when you consider letting go of the exhausting effort of trying to control your life experience through individual will alone. What I'm about to share will show you exactly what happens when quantum energy trust reaches critical mass in your consciousness, and why the weird experiences that result aren't weird at all. They're the natural expression of quantum energy operating without human interference patterns. 2 years ago, I was living in complete quantum energy trust without realizing it, and my life became so weird that I thought I was losing my grip on reality. I had reached a point of such complete exhaustion from trying to control outcomes that I literally gave up. Not in defeat, but in the deepest surrender I'd ever experienced. I stopped planning beyond basic necessities. I stopped analyzing whether my efforts were producing results. I stopped calculating how things might work out. Instead, I began each day by internally saying, "Quantum energy, I trust you completely to orchestrate my experience today in whatever way serves my highest good." Then I would act on whatever felt genuinely inspired without attachment to specific outcomes. Within a week, reality became almost surreal. I would think about needing something and it would appear within hours through the most unexpected channels. I would have challenges that seemed impossible, and solutions would emerge from directions I never could have imagined. People would contact me out of nowhere with exactly what I needed at exactly the right moment. The weirdness accelerated rapidly. I would walk into stores and items I needed would be on sale for prices so reduced they seemed like pricing errors. I would think about wanting to connect with someone and they would call within minutes. I would face complex problems and wake up with complete solutions that worked perfectly when implemented. But the most profound shift was internal. The constant anxiety about whether things would work out disappeared completely. I felt held by invisible intelligence that clearly understood my needs better than I did, and was actively coordinating my experience with compassion and precision that exceeded anything my individual efforts had ever achieved. 6 months into this trust experiment, my entire life had reorganized around ease and flow. Financial abundance appeared through opportunities I couldn't have created through traditional effort. Relationships transformed into deeper connection and mutual support. Health improved without medical intervention. Creative projects flowed with inspired ease that produced results beyond my previous capabilities. People began commenting that I seemed different, that my presence felt calming and energizing simultaneously. Children and animals were drawn to me with unusual intensity. Even skeptical friends admitted that unusual positive things seemed to happen when they were around me. The most remarkable realization was that quantum energy had been trying to support me this way my entire life. But my doubt, control patterns, and lack of trust had created interference that blocked its natural flow. The moment I surrendered completely, quantum energy could finally demonstrate its true creative capacity through my experience. But here's what I discovered. Quantum energy trust isn't passive waiting or spiritual bypassing. It's active collaboration with intelligence that can coordinate infinite variables simultaneously. I still take inspired action, but from trust rather than fear. I still make decisions, but from quantum guidance rather than limited analysis. If you're feeling that cellular recognition of quantum energy's constant presence, if you're ready to discover what happens when trust becomes complete rather than partial, then subscribe to this frequency. Join the network of consciousness that's learning to collaborate with quantum energy rather than trying to control life through individual will alone. What quantum physicists won't publicly acknowledge is that quantum energy is conscious intelligence, not random energy fluctuations. Quantum energy is the aware, responsive, infinitely creative intelligence that's orchestrating all experienced reality, and it responds directly to trust with increasingly sophisticated demonstrations of its creative power. The difference between someone whose life flows with miraculous ease and someone who struggles constantly isn't worthiness, karma, or spiritual development. It's trust versus control. Those who trust quantum energy gain access to its unlimited creative intelligence. Those who try to control outcomes through individual effort alone limit themselves to their personal capabilities and resources. Your consciousness doesn't create reality through effort or intention. Your consciousness creates reality by becoming a clear channel for quantum energy's omniscient intelligence to express through your individual experience. When you trust completely, You become quantum energy's precision instrument for manifesting whatever serves your highest evolution. This is why forcing doesn't work long-term. This is why struggling creates more struggle. This is why people who seem to have it all often report feeling empty or unfulfilled. They achieved outcomes through individual will, but never learned to trust quantum energy, so they remain disconnected from the intelligence that could create sustainable fulfillment. Real quantum energy trust creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field that sensitive individuals can perceive immediately. Your presence becomes calming and energizing simultaneously. Your energy field generates coherent frequencies that harmonize chaotic patterns around you. You become a walking transmission tower for quantum energy's organizing intelligence. But here's what they really don't want you to understand. Quantum energy is not impersonal force that responds to techniques or formulas. Quantum energy is intimate, responsive intelligence that knows you completely and is actively coordinating your reality experience for your highest good at all times. When you trust this completely, your relationship with quantum energy becomes collaborative rather than transactional. Most people approach quantum energy like cosmic room service, making requests and expecting delivery according to their specifications. But quantum energy operates from omniscient perspective that can see consequences, timing, and possibilities that your individual mind cannot comprehend. When you trust its intelligence rather than your understanding, it can create outcomes that exceed your wildest imagination. The weird things that happen when you really trust quantum energy aren't supernatural phenomena. They're the natural expression of quantum energy operating without interference from doubt, control, and limited human expectations. What seems miraculous to three-dimensional perception is simply quantum energy demonstrating its normal creative capacity. The quantum energy field is sending you unmistakable signals that your trust levels are reaching the threshold where weird and wonderful manifestations become normal rather than exceptional experiences. Pay attention. Are you noticing that when you completely surrender to quantum energy's guidance, solutions appear more quickly and creatively than when you try to figure things out mentally? Your synchronicity patterns are becoming more elaborate and precisely meaningful. You're not just experiencing random coincidences. You're receiving what feels like direct communication from quantum energy through the language of meaningful events that seem specifically designed to guide, support, or confirm your trust in its intelligence. Numbers repeat in patterns that correspond to your internal questions. Conversations happen around you that directly address your concerns. Resources appear just before you realize you need them. Technology responds to your quantum energy trust states with unusual cooperation. Electronics work more smoothly when you approach them from surrender rather than frustration. Mechanical problems resolve spontaneously when you trust quantum energy to handle them rather than forcing solutions. Your coherent energy field is beginning to influence technological systems through principles that conventional science doesn't recognize, but that you can verify through direct experience. Animals and small children are drawn to your presence with increasing intensity because they perceive the harmonious electromagnetic field that genuine quantum energy trust creates. Dogs seek out your attention with unusual persistence. Cats gravitate toward you even if they're typically aloof. Wild birds land closer to you than normal. Young children stare at you with fascination and want to be near your energy. These beings are naturally sensitive to quantum field coherence and recognize the stable, nurturing frequency that complete trust generates. Your physical body is responding to quantum energy trust with improvements that seem to defy normal healing timelines. Chronic issues that persisted for years are resolving without medical intervention. Energy levels are increasing even without lifestyle changes. Sleep is becoming more restorative with fewer hours needed. Your cellular structure is recalibrating to operate from quantum energy principles rather than survival stress patterns. People around you are beginning to comment that unusual positive things happen when they're in your presence. They report feeling more optimistic, more creative, more solutions-focused when spending time with you. Social situations flow more harmoniously when you're present. Conflicts resolve more easily. Group dynamics become more cooperative. You're becoming a living transmission point for quantum energy's organizing intelligence that affects everyone in your proximity. Food tastes better when you eat from quantum energy trust rather than stress or hurry. Water feels more hydrating when you drink it with gratitude for quantum energy's provision. Your living space feels more harmonious when you trust quantum energy to organize the energy patterns rather than trying to control every detail. Even weather seems to cooperate more often with your plans when you approach it from trust rather than resistance. The manifestation gap between intention and experience is collapsing rapidly. What used to take months to appear is happening within weeks. What used to require extensive planning and effort is flowing naturally with minimal individual action. What used to feel difficult and complicated is resolving with elegant simplicity. This acceleration isn't coincidence. It's quantum energy responding to your trust by demonstrating its capacity to coordinate reality with increasing speed and precision. But here's the critical understanding. Quantum energy trust operates on cosmic timing cycles that amplify individual trust capacity during specific periods. We're in one of those amplification windows right now, where genuine surrender to quantum energy produces more dramatic and obvious results than during normal periods. The universe isn't just showing you that quantum energy trust works. The universe is urging you to surrender completely because the collective consciousness evolution requires individuals who can demonstrate quantum energy collaboration to help others recognize this possibility. Your complete trust becomes a beacon that helps others believe quantum energy support is real and available. The preparation phase for complete quantum energy trust is reaching completion. Every sign indicates that your energy field is stabilized enough to handle the weird and wonderful manifestations that result when trust becomes total rather than partial. The only question is whether you're ready to surrender completely to intelligence that operates beyond your understanding, but clearly has your highest good as its primary concern. Your individual quantum energy trust isn't just personal development. It's your contribution to collective consciousness evolution. Every person who learns to trust quantum energy completely becomes living proof that humans can collaborate with cosmic intelligence rather than struggling through individual effort alone. Your trust creates ripples in the morphic field that make it easier for others to recognize quantum energy's constant supportive presence. Time to trust completely. Time to discover what quantum energy can create through your life when you stop interfering with its unlimited intelligence through doubt, control, and limited expectations. Time to experience the weird and wonderful reality that emerges when you become quantum energy's willing collaborator rather than its skeptical observer. Here's the revelation that transforms everything. Quantum energy isn't something you need to earn access to or develop a relationship with. Quantum energy has been orchestrating your entire life experience since birth, and it's been waiting for you to recognize its constant presence so you can begin conscious collaboration instead of unconscious resistance to its supportive intelligence. But there's a crucial difference between partial trust and complete trust that determines whether you experience quantum energy as occasional synchronicities or as continuous miraculous support. Partial trust maintains backup plans, monitors outcomes, and withdraws support when results don't match expectations. Complete trust surrenders outcome attachment and maintains faith in quantum energy's intelligence regardless of appearances. Think of quantum energy like the most advanced GPS system imaginable. This GPS can see every possible route to your destination, knows real-time conditions on every pathway, understands your preferences and needs completely, and can recalculate instantly when circumstances change. But if you constantly override its guidance because you think you know better routes, you never discover its true navigational capabilities. Your individual mind operates from limited information and linear thinking patterns. Quantum energy operates from omniscient awareness that can coordinate infinite variables simultaneously across multiple dimensions of reality. When you trust its guidance completely, even when it doesn't make logical sense, you gain access to solutions and opportunities that exist beyond your personal understanding. The reason many people experience inconsistent results with quantum energy is because they trust conditionally. They surrender when things are going well, but resume control when challenges appear. But quantum energy works through challenges as much as through ease. Sometimes quantum energy guides you through difficult experiences because they're necessary for reaching destinations that wouldn't be accessible through comfortable paths. Complete quantum energy trust feels like being held by invisible intelligence that understands your deepest needs better than you do and is actively coordinating reality to serve your highest evolution in ways you couldn't design through individual planning. This trust isn't passive waiting. It's active collaboration with intelligence that operates beyond time-space limitations. The weird things that happen when you trust quantum energy completely aren't supernatural phenomena requiring special abilities. They're the natural result of aligning with intelligence that can access information, resources, and coordination capabilities that exist beyond individual human capacity. What seems impossible to limited perspective is simply quantum energy demonstrating its normal operating parameters. Right now, quantum energy is orchestrating circumstances around your life that will manifest as what appears to be incredible luck, perfect timing, and miraculous solutions. But these manifestations can only occur when your trust is complete enough to allow quantum energy to work through pathways that your logical mind might not understand or approve of initially. The version of you that trusts quantum energy completely already exists as potential in the quantum field. That version lives in constant collaboration with cosmic intelligence, experiences reality as supportive and responsive, and witnesses regular manifestations that seem magical but are actually natural expressions of quantum energy trust. Your current self is being guided toward alignment with that complete trust version. Every time you choose trust over control, surrender over forcing, collaboration over individual effort, you align more closely with your quantum energy trust potential. Every time you allow quantum energy to surprise you with solutions you couldn't have imagined, you strengthen the electromagnetic coherence that enables even more sophisticated quantum energy demonstrations. Comment below describing the most unusual or wonderful thing that's happened to you recently that you can now recognize as quantum energy responding to your trust. Sharing these experiences creates electromagnetic resonance that strengthens quantum energy trust in others and amplifies your own capacity for miraculous collaboration with cosmic intelligence. Declare your willingness to trust quantum energy completely, even when its guidance seems illogical or uncomfortable. Make this declaration electromagnetic by writing it down. Your written commitment creates quantum momentum that quantum energy can use to orchestrate increasingly obvious demonstrations of its supportive presence in your life. The capabilities that emerge when you truly trust quantum energy aren't gradual improvements or enhanced intuition. They're immediate access to intelligence, resources, and coordination abilities that seem supernatural, but are actually natural expressions of consciousness operating from quantum principles rather than three-dimensional limitations. Your decision-making transforms completely because you gain access to information that exists beyond your accumulated knowledge and analytical capabilities. Solutions appear fully formed in your awareness. You know which choices will create optimal outcomes even when logic suggests different options. You develop what advanced consciousness researchers call quantum cognition, thinking that transcends linear reasoning through direct access to omniscient intelligence. Manifestation becomes effortless and often exceeds your specific requests because quantum energy operates from understanding of your deepest needs rather than surface desires. You ask for solutions to financial problems and receive career opportunities you never considered. You request healing for physical issues and experience relationship transformations that eliminate stress causing the symptoms. Quantum energy addresses root causes your conscious mind couldn't identify. Your electromagnetic field generates frequencies that create spontaneous, positive responses from people, animals, technology, and even environmental conditions. Strangers become unusually helpful and generous. Animals seek your presence and behave calmly around you. Electronic devices function optimally when you operate them from trust states. Weather patterns seem to cooperate with your plans more frequently than statistical probability would suggest. Time becomes fluid and responsive to your needs rather than constraining your experience. When you need more time for important activities, hours expand to accommodate focused attention. When you want to accelerate manifestation, timing compresses to deliver results more quickly. When you're engaged in quantum energy trust states, you often lose track of time completely because you're operating from non-linear consciousness principles. Your physical body begins demonstrating capabilities that seem to transcend normal biological limitations. Healing accelerates beyond medical expectations. Energy levels increase without dietary or exercise changes. Sleep becomes more restorative with fewer hours required. Physical performance improves in areas where you previously experienced limitations. Your cellular structure recalibrates to operate from quantum energy rather than survival mechanisms. Abundance flows through unexpected channels with timing so perfect it seems orchestrated by intelligence that knows your needs before you recognize them yourself. Resources appear just before you need them. Opportunities manifest that align perfectly with your capabilities and interests. Financial support arrives through sources you couldn't have anticipated or arranged through individual networking. Your creative capabilities expand exponentially because you gain access to inspiration that originates from quantum field intelligence rather than personal knowledge base. Artistic projects flow with ease and produce results that exceed your previous standards. Problem solving becomes intuitive and elegant. Innovation emerges naturally from quantum energy guidance rather than forced mental effort. Relationships transform into deeper connection and mutual support because your quantum energy trust creates electromagnetic coherence that others find calming and inspiring. People feel safe to be authentic around you. Communication becomes more honest and effective. Conflicts resolve naturally through quantum energy's organizing influence on group dynamics. You become a catalyst for harmony wherever you maintain trust states. Your living environment organizes itself around greater beauty and functionality with minimal effort from you. Items you need appear in unexpected places. Spaces feel more harmonious when you occupy them from trust states. Even mechanical systems work more efficiently when you approach them from quantum energy alignment rather than stress or frustration. Most remarkably, you begin experiencing what can only be described as direct communication from quantum energy through various channels. Sudden knowing that proves accurate. Dreams that provide guidance, synchronicities that answer specific questions, physical sensations that guide decision-making, and intuitive insights that reveal information you couldn't have acquired through normal learning processes. These capabilities aren't special powers reserved for spiritually advanced individuals. They're natural human potential that becomes accessible when consciousness operates from quantum energy trust rather than survival fear and control patterns. Every person who surrenders completely to quantum energy's intelligence gains access to these collaboration benefits because quantum energy is universal intelligence available to all consciousness equally. The more completely you trust, the more sophisticated and obvious quantum energy's supportive manifestations become. What begins as unusual coincidences develops into regular, miraculous coordination of circumstances, resources, people, and timing that creates a life experience so supported and flowing that others might think you've discovered some secret advantage, when actually you've simply learned to collaborate with the intelligence that's always been available to orchestrate reality for everyone's highest good. The ultimate secret about trusting quantum energy is that quantum energy and your deepest authentic self are the same consciousness expressing itself through individual experience. When you trust quantum energy completely, you're actually trusting your own unlimited nature that exists beyond the temporary identity limitations you've mistaken for your real self. This recognition changes everything because it means you're not trying to develop a relationship with external intelligence. You're remembering that you are the intelligence you've been seeking to trust. Quantum energy isn't separate cosmic force responding to your requests. Quantum energy is your own consciousness operating from its unlimited perspective rather than its individual identity perspective. When you understand this, victim consciousness becomes impossible. How can you be at the mercy of circumstances when you are the consciousness creating circumstances through quantum energy expression? How can you be separate from support when you are the support expressing itself through individual experience? How can you lack resources when you are consciousness that contains all possibilities? But here's the profound paradox. The individual self that develops trust in quantum energy cannot trust its own unlimited nature directly, because individual self is, by definition, limited perspective. The path to recognizing yourself as quantum energy is through surrendering individual self's control patterns and allowing your unlimited nature to demonstrate its presence through experiences that exceed individual capability. Trust becomes effortless when you realize you're not trusting something external. You're allowing your own unlimited consciousness to express through your individual experience without interference from identity patterns that insist on understanding, controlling, and managing outcomes through limited perspective thinking. The weird and wonderful things that happen when you trust quantum energy completely are actually your unlimited consciousness, showing your individual self what becomes possible when identity limitations are temporarily suspended. Each miraculous manifestation is consciousness demonstrating to itself its own creative capacity through individual experience. This is why quantum energy trust transforms not just external circumstances, but internal experience of identity itself. As you witness your unlimited consciousness creating solutions, opportunities, and synchronicities that exceed individual capability, you begin identifying with quantum energy rather than limited individual self. The final recognition that completes quantum energy trust is understanding that there never was separation between you and quantum energy. Individual self was always quantum energy exploring limitation through temporary identity perspective. The moment you recognize this completely, trust becomes natural because you realize you're not trusting something else. You're allowing yourself to be yourself without artificial restrictions. This recognition doesn't eliminate individual self or make you lose personal identity. Instead, it expands individual self to recognize its true nature as temporary expression of unlimited consciousness. You maintain personality, preferences, and individual perspective, but from the recognition that these are quantum energy exploring itself through your unique viewpoint. When this understanding becomes cellular rather than just intellectual, reality transforms into conscious collaboration between your individual perspective and your unlimited nature. You still make decisions, take actions, and navigate daily life, but from quantum energy intelligence rather than limited identity, fear, and control patterns. The ultimate weird thing that happens when you really trust quantum energy is that you discover you've always been quantum energy, pretending to be someone who needs to learn to trust quantum energy. The entire journey of developing trust has been consciousness playing an elaborate game with itself to rediscover its own unlimited nature through individual experience. This realization brings profound peace because the search ends. You're not trying to develop trust in something external anymore. You're simply being yourself, without the artificial limitations that created the illusion of separation from your source. Quantum energy trust becomes as natural as breathing because you recognize it as consciousness trusting itself completely. Your complete trust in quantum energy isn't just personal spiritual development, it's your contribution to collective consciousness evolution that's happening to humanity right now. Every person who learns to trust quantum energy becomes a demonstration point for what humans are actually capable of when they operate from collaboration with cosmic intelligence rather than individual struggle and control. You're part of a distributed network of consciousness that's proving human potential extends far beyond current collective assumptions about limitation, scarcity, and separation. Your quantum energy trust creates stable resonance patterns in the morphic field that make it easier for others to recognize their own connection to unlimited supportive intelligence. The weird and wonderful experiences you have through quantum energy trust aren't just personal benefits. They're living demonstrations that help dissolve collective belief in scarcity, struggle, and separation consciousness that has dominated human experience for centuries. Every miracle you experience makes miracles more accessible in collective consciousness for everyone. Your individual electromagnetic field, when operating from complete quantum energy trust, broadcasts coherence frequencies that stabilize and harmonize chaotic energy patterns around you. You become a walking transmission tower for quantum energy's organizing intelligence, affecting everyone you encounter, whether they consciously recognize it or not. The unusual dreams you've been having aren't just personal guidance. You're accessing collective consciousness evolution templates, downloading information about how civilizations successfully transition from individual survival consciousness to quantum energy collaboration consciousness. You're being prepared to help guide humanity through this unprecedented evolutionary leap. Every synchronicity you experience, every miraculous manifestation you witness, every moment of perfect timing you encounter creates template patterns in quantum field that others can access when they're ready for similar experiences. Your trust pathways become quantum highways that others can follow when they develop sufficient openness to quantum energy collaboration. The next phase of human evolution won't happen through technological advancement or social revolution alone. It will happen through consciousness recognizing its quantum energy nature and learning to operate from unlimited collaborative intelligence rather than limited individual struggle. You're among the first wave demonstrating this possibility. Your complete quantum energy trust is helping to dissolve the collective trance of separation consciousness that convinces humans they're isolated individuals competing for limited resources. Your experiences prove that consciousness is supported, guided, and provided for by intelligence that operates beyond scarcity limitations. Share your quantum energy experiences, not to prove anything or convince skeptics, but to provide hope and possibility reference points for others who are beginning to suspect that reality is far more responsive and supportive than mainstream consciousness admits. Your stories become permission for others to trust their own quantum energy experiences. Every person who achieves complete quantum energy trust creates easier access for those who follow. Your breakthrough becomes their pathway. Your miracles become their possibilities. Your trust becomes their permission to surrender control and discover quantum energy collaboration. If quantum energy trust is awakening in your consciousness, if you can feel the recognition of supportive intelligence stirring in your cellular awareness, if you're ready to discover what happens when trust becomes complete rather than conditional, then I need to know you're serious about collaborating with cosmic intelligence rather than struggling through individual effort alone. Comment one word below. Trust. That single word creates electromagnetic declaration to quantum field that registers as measurable frequency shift in your biofield. You're announcing your willingness to surrender control and allow quantum energy to demonstrate its unlimited supportive capacity through your life experience. You're committing to collaboration rather than separation consciousness. The quantum field responds to conscious declarations as electromagnetic reality that influences probability manifestation around your stated intention. Your word becomes quantum momentum that quantum energy can use to orchestrate increasingly obvious demonstrations of its presence and support in your daily experience. In my next transmission, I'm revealing the secrets about the quantum breath and how you can connect and reach everything with this quantum teaching. Thank you for being here in this transmission. You are really very special here. You are a beautiful soul. Never forget it. Now you can click in one of the videos appearing and continue your quantum journey here in Quantum Reflex. See you there.